Are you considering making a move to Utah? And maybe you're wondering, what are the safest cities to live in? After all, safety is at the top of most people's list. It's always at the top of my list. Well, I have the latest report on the 10 safest cities in Utah. And this report covered the whole state, from the north to the south to the east to the west. So on this video, we're going to cover all 10 cities that made the top 10. So let's get after it right now. And I'm Mike Gallagher. Welcome to the Living in Utah channel. I'm a local real estate agent, and on this channel, we talk about everything about the state of Utah: eating, sleeping, drinking, playing, whatever there is. If this is your first time to my channel, you may consider tapping that subscribe button down below, and you'll receive an alert every time I release a new video, and that's every week. And honestly, we've been helping so many people from all over the country, and we absolutely love it. So if I can be of any assistance, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We got your back when moving to the U-State. So as we get started, this is not my personal report. No city on the list did I personally choose. I'm going to leave a link to the report in the description down below of the video. So if your city is not on the list, don't worry. Utah is still a safe place to live. When it comes to violent crime, 2.4 residents out of 1,000 residents may be subject to a violent crime. That number is 35% lower than the national average. 35% lower. And when it comes to property crime, 21.7 residents per 1,000 will be subject to a property crime. That particular number is the third lowest in the mountain region. We are lower than our neighbors in Idaho and Wyoming. Coming in at number 10 on the list, we have the city called Saratoga Springs, where approximately 33,000 residents call it home. It's located in Utah County. It is actually west of Lehi, Utah. It is also home, that whole area, Lehi, is home to the Silicon Slopes development. Tech companies have moved into that area, provided a lot of jobs for the whole area. So it's a popular area. It's also popular because it's located between Salt Lake City and Provo. If you head north, you can go to Salt Lake City. If you head south, you can go to Provo. When it comes to violent crime, 1.6 resident per 1,000 residents could be subject to a violent crime. And on the property crime side of things, 7.7 residents per 1,000 residents could be subject to a property crime. Coming in at number 9 on the list, we have Farmington, Utah, a city located in Davis County. It's a very popular area. The school district of Davis is highly rated. It's a very popular area. Also in this area, they have a new commercial development called Farmington Square. A lot of beautiful retail stores for your enjoyment. Now, this city is located between Ogden and Salt Lake City. So if you need to go to Ogden, you can just head north. Or Hill Air Force Base, just head north. If you need to go to Salt Lake City, just head south on the freeway. So when it comes to violent crime, 0.7 resident per 1,000 residents could be subject to a violent crime, a very low number. When it comes to property crime, 13.8 residents per 1,000 residents could be subject to a property crime. So coming in at number 8 on the list, you have Springville, Utah. If you're familiar where Provo, Utah is, Springville is south of Provo. If you're familiar with Spanish Fork, the city of Springville would be north of Spanish Fork. When it comes to violent crime, very low number, 0.6 residents per 1,000. Extremely low number. Comes to property crime, the number's a little bit higher. It's 14.7 residents per 1,000. It's probably one of the highest property crime ratings on this particular top 10 list. Every time I go to Springville, Utah, I get that small community feel. It's a town that you just get that local community feel. Coming in at number 7 on the list, we have Clinton, Utah, a city that has 22,000 residents. The city is located in Davis County. If you're familiar with Salt Lake City and Ogden, if you were to go north out of Salt Lake City, you'd run into Clinton, Utah. If you go south out of Ogden, you would locate Clinton, Utah. It's located right next to Hill Air Force Base. So it's a popular area for people who work at Hill Air Force Base to live at. You'll probably find most of the residents work at Hill Air Force Base or work for a company that does business with Hill Air Force Base. There was once in my life that I actually lived in this city. I enjoyed the city. When it comes to violent crime, 0.8 residents per 1,000 residents. Very low number. And when it comes to property crime, 13.3 residents per 1,000. When I lived there, Clinton actually had no police force as far as a full-time paid police force. It was a volunteer group. You'd get a lot of officers who just came out of the academy, would go to Clinton to get the experience on a volunteer basis in the hopes of getting a job at another city. Coming at number 6 on the list, we have Pleasant Grove, Utah, a city that is known as PG. I usually call it PG. Many of the local residents also call it PG. This particular city is located between Salt Lake City and Provo. It's actually closer to Provo. So if you went north out of Provo, you'd run into Pleasant Grove. If you went south out of Salt Lake City, you'd run into Pleasant Grove also. When it comes to violent crime, 1 resident out of 1,000 could be subject to a violent crime. When it comes to property crime, 9.3 residents out of 1,000 residents. It's an established community. It's a community that has been around for many years. Coming in at number 5 on my list is North Ogden, Utah, a city that is located just north of Ogden, Utah. It's right next to the mountain. You live right underneath the mountain, and you have quick access to hiking trails, biking trails, UTV trails, ski resorts. Currently, 21,000 residents call North Ogden home. When it comes to violent crime, 0.8 residents per 1,000 residents could be subject to a violent crime. When it comes to property crime, 10 residents out of 1,000 residents could be subject to a property crime. Coming in at number 4 on the list, you have Bountiful, Utah, a city that's located just north of Salt Lake City. It's probably the closest city on the list to Salt Lake City. It's located in Davis County. It's very popular with people who are working in downtown Salt Lake City, say maybe downtown in the business district, the financial district, up at the University of Utah, Primary Children's Hospital, out at the airport. You have a short distance for a commute into work. This particular city, when it came to violent crime, was 0.8 residents per 1,000 residents, a very low number. And property crime came in at 10.1 residents per 1,000 residents. Coming in at number 3 on the list, we have Kaysville, Utah. Very popular city. It's been popular for many years. It ranks very high on nearly every list you will come across. Usually in the top 10, most of the time in the top 5. It is a quiet community. I would know, I once lived in Kaysville. It's been quite a few years, but it's a beautiful community. Where's it located? It is in between Ogden and Salt Lake City. So if you were to drive north out of Salt Lake City, you would run into Kaysville. If you drove south from Ogden, you would run into Kaysville. About 33,000 residents call this city home. When it comes to violent crime, 0.7 residents per 1,000 residents experienced violent crime. When it came to property crime, 8.4 residents per 1,000 residents experienced property crime. Very low numbers on any statistic board. Coming in at number 2 on the list, we have Syracuse, Utah. Very popular area. I get a lot of phone calls about this city. There's a lot of people over the last 5 to 10 years that have called Syracuse, Utah home. It's a city that is located in Davis County. Where is it located? It's located between Salt Lake City and Ogden, probably right in the middle and then west of the freeway. It's very popular with people who are working at Hill Air Force Base, whether it's a civilian job, a military job, or even with a company that supports Hill Air Force Base. You'll find that some of them choose Syracuse as a city to live in. When it comes to violent crime, about 0.8 residents per 1,000 residents experienced violent crime. When it comes to property crime, there were only 196 total cases that were reported. Coming in at number 1 on the list, we have Spanish Fork, Utah, a city that is located south of Provo, Utah. So if you know Provo, Utah, just head straight south. You'll run right into Spanish Fork, right off of Interstate 15. At this particular city, when I'm in this city, you get that small town local feeling. A lot of local residents that have lived there for many years. The population is actually 41,000 residents. When it comes to violent crime, 0.2 residents per 1,000 residents were involved in a violent crime. What a low number. When it comes to property crime, it's also a low number. 8.2 residents per 1,000 residents. Both these numbers are extremely low. It's probably why Spanish Fork came in at number 1 on the list. So in conclusion, that's the top 10 safest cities we have in the state of Utah. There are many cities to choose from in the state of Utah, and to make it in the top 10 is a job well done. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and if you have any questions, by all means, reach out to me. Glad to answer anything that I can. Till the next video, take care and stay safe.